Man United 2, Leicester 1. Um, that was a really difficult watch, if I'm honest. I wasn't expecting such a shite performance, especially on a Friday night. First, us being the holders. Yeah, it was a bit of a mess. It was a bit of a mess. Well, let me say howdy to a couple of people below. I hope you're doing well, man. Stephanie, phew, good job you only conceded one goal at home. Indeed. Grace, let's see what we've got. Amarin out, and please send Dallo to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and leave him there. I'm done with the fraud. He is shit. Grace, Grace, but Dallo is your boy. He's your guy. What the hell is going on? Have you finally acknowledged that he's not the great guy that you think he is? What is going on, Grace? Wow. I wasn't expecting that from you at all. United Central. Good evening. What can we say about this game? Such a painful watch. Yeah, it was a lot worse. It was a lot worse than I expected, man. I got a couple of thoughts on that, to be fair, but I'll go there with you guys anyway. Simon, how you doing, man? There you go. Not exactly a great match again. Mr. Potus, big up Mr. B. Didn't think I'd see you on today as I thought you were finished with the club. They get me emotional, man. Yeah, you know what it's like, Mr. Potus, man. No, I watch a long plan, to be fair, but something came up, so I couldn't do it. Grace, um, I'll find some better. Probably not at United though, Grace, to be fair. Mr. Potus, what was Amarin thinking playing our new? Oh, do you know what? I want to talk to you guys. So there's a few things that seems there's a few things here that we all want to pick up. Look at that. He's gone with it as well. Okay, so the team today. Um, shit. Let me get it up. I should have just had this up in it. Oh, dear. Right. So the team today that he started with was obviously Anana in goal, which was a bit of a weird one. I expected Bayindir to play in goal. Mazraoui, Maguire, Euro, um, Agate and Bruno, Dallo on the wrong side as far as I'm concerned. Dorgu on the wrong side. Diallo, Mainu, and Hoyland. I suppose Hoyland's got to get a run out at some stage. Um, I was really surprised that he played Dorgu on the left. Sorry, on the right, the side that we seem to probably have cover in. Whether or not he was trying to squeeze in Dallo, which I think he was, it made no sense. It made absolutely no sense to me. Um, it was a weird one. Um, the first half was a crock of shit. It definitely was what I was expecting. I actually think that there's issues with Bruno. I think he is one of the biggest issues in the team. Not necessarily him as a player playing in the team, but the position that they're playing in. I don't think it's a coincidence that Agate seems to have fallen off a cliff. Now he's having to do two man's work. Bruno doesn't tackle. He doesn't hold position. He doesn't have a defensive minded bone in his body, and I think it's affecting the team. I'm not going to say that was the only reason why we played show shit today, um, but I think that's a main issue. The back part of it, to be fair, the defensive side of the team didn't break us down, but it was only bloody Leicester. Let's have a look. Hold on. Let's see. United Central Bayindir picked up a slight injury otherwise. Okay, okay. Cheers for that. Okay, well, hopefully it's nothing too serious. Let's have a look, Stephanie. Mr. B, I was looking forward to you watching them. Probably a blessing at the first half was shocking. Big up, buddy. Yeah, so as I said, I had it set up for the day, but about 20 minutes before something came up, and yeah, it was a bit difficult. Let's see now. Mr. Potus. agreed, Mr. B. It's like Bruno just has no idea what he's doing. Agate completely. Yeah, I just think that that's the situation now. You know, you may as well have Eric. If you're gonna have somebody who doesn't do anything, you may as well put bloody Casemiro in there. You know, Hoyland starting. As I said, I think he probably does need game time. Um, just thank God that we had Garnacho at the end, and I've heard that ping of love. Oh shit! Why can't I never get this right? Barca, how you doing?
Hello, I didn't know we were going live, to be honest, so I just popped in to say Happy Maguire Day.
I tell you, I haven't even mentioned Maguire's name yet. To be fair, I haven't got that far. We've just said a couple of howdies. I haven't gone in on Bruno. I think that Amarin, we didn't understand why he played Dorgu on the wrong side of the pitch, considering that the hype about him being our left wing back. And Bruno being absolutely hopeless in the two. I think we're now seeing the worst of Agate, and I think it's down to Bruno. Um, Thoughts
Uh,
on that one, please?
Ugarte is a dreadful player, Mr. B, and he's not like, look, he's sort of like, he's Premier League quality-ish, but you're going to get nowhere with a player that has that many ricks in their game in terms of where they position, how they tackle, the lack of getting the ball forward. I noticed that like at half time, one of the big changes was hitting the low, like with a switch as soon as possible. There were many times in the first half where Ugarte had a bit of time and a bit of space to hit the switch, and he didn't. He's not good enough on the ball, and he's too ill disciplined. Like where he goes, and Bruno, I just can't tell you if Bruno like had a good game or a bad game in the end because I felt he did really well in the last 20 minutes or so.
But they all did
But
really well in the last 20 minutes of half time. That was the problem. I think that
yeah, but
probably
that's not the
marked.
first time that's happened. Do you remember the body punching theory that I have?
Yeah, yeah. But I tell you what, they didn't lay a glove on them though, did they? They didn't soften them
Yeah.
up. They didn't soften them up for the blow. You know what I mean? It's. I'm.
It's, we got a problem in midfield.
Yeah, seriously, a real ball. He got a problem in midfield and up front. But obviously the midfield situation is something that we'll probably delve into on another show. But the first half of absolute nothingness happened, and I was really disappointed with what I was seeing. I just wasn't expecting that. I know at home there seems to be a lot of pressure on the players, but they have to do more. Surely, you know, it couldn't have been an instruction to always be playing the ball backwards. Nobody wanted to play the ball forwards in the first half after.
Do you know what it's like, Mr. B? I think I put it in our chat actually. It's like watching 13-year-old boys at their first school disco waiting for the girls to cross the dance floor to come and speak to them because they wanted to be pressed. They were sitting there, foot on the ball, hoping that they could tempt Leicester out and try and play through them.
Mm.
Leicester didn't do that, so you have to come up with a solution. And the solution was just passing it around aimlessly at the back and then booting it down a channel or trying to hit Rasmus, who can't, you know, he can't even hold his shopping. And for one of the goals, like for
Exactly.
Xerxes' goal, a huge part of that was Rasmus was able to hold the ball up, and it shows just how much he holds us back. To be honest, with his inability to control football, but I was disappointed with Maguire in the first half. I felt that he should be driving us up the pitch. If they're giving us space, let's just get up the pitch. Like march up, be positive, be aggressive, take the fight to them. And I just I have a lot of doubts about this formation and the game model and so on. And I felt that I feel that players are just they're playing too much fear at the moment. That there's got to be more of a desire to take control.
Well, that's going to be down to what Amarin tells them, I suppose. I mean, he said
Mm.
he's tinkering, but I don't think he's got the players to do the tinkering with. I mean, I think the first half was a non-event. Obviously, second half. He brought on. Um, did he bring on Garnacho straight away?
Um,
Did
yes,
he?
he
Oh,
did because Dorgu was pulled
right.
at half time.
Sorry, I need to. I need to. Dorgu. There was a couple of people in the chat who asked why Dorgu was pulled. I, I'd really like to hope it wasn't an injury, but if it wasn't, do you understand why he was taken off the pitch for half time?
Um, yeah, I mean, he did. I know people will be quite excited by him because he got ahead of the ball, which is nice, and he was positive in what he was trying to do. But Jordan Ayew was killing us in the first half, and he's a
Is your
player I
guy?
regularly mention. Like he's always been the Premier League skill check to me. Everyone thinks he's rubbish, and yet whenever he plays against us, he beats them up. He moves in annoying places, and I think that Yoro and Dorgu were not able to cope with him correctly. So they switched Yoro to the other side. They put Mazraoui on him, who handled him much better. But I'm not sure. I haven't. I'd love to know if Amarin has done what he should have done, which is said like, look, I took Dorgu off because, to be honest, he's not quite ready for my system. It's nothing on him. It's my mistake. So just lads, I got it wrong. Hands up, but well done for the team for pulling through and finding the result. He's got to put that on himself, taking Dorgu off at half time if he wasn't injured, because I mean that is a shocking thing to do,
Yeah,
like to a new signing. I mean, you're a manager. I you would give him at least till 60,
yeah,
surely.
yeah. I didn't understand. I just couldn't understand why he took him off. I couldn't understand why. I understand he wanted to get Garnacho on, but I mean, great poor Grace. She's come on here and she said to dump Dallo in the Atlantic Ocean. She's done.
No, she hasn't.
Oh, bath time. Oh, yes, she
Craig
has.
Sheridan.
Yes, let me get it. I'm gonna get it up here. I was in total disbelief. Here we go. Grace, here it is. Hammering out, and please send Dallo to the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and leave him there. I'm done with this fraud. He is shit.
She's been hacked. This is like Kanye West's got has got a hold of her
It's
account.
crazy, isn't it? It, it, it
I thought Delay was brilliant in the second half. I can't lie.
I don't know, bath time. I don't know. I just think what I was thinking.
I
Um,
think right. So in the second half, Delo, Maguire, and Garnacho and Xerxes were the players that really I felt stepped things up.
yeah.
Maybe because of Maguire just banging those balls out, but the directness came from Ahmad. Came from Garnacho and Delo. Like I thought that they were quality in what they were
Garnacho,
doing.
Garnacho, was the game changer for me. I can't remember the Dallo switch to be fair, but obviously Garnacho came on and it was an obvious change. But do you think one he trusts Garnacho? I still think Garnacho's got limitations to his game, but what he did, he frightened the opposition. He frightened them when he came on because he was direct. If
Yeah.
we don't have anybody else in the team, if that's the style that he wants to play, because this passing around bullshit, it isn't working. If that's the stuff we don't have cover for him, but we don't have another player like Garnacho in the team, and I'm not a
Um,
Garnacho fan.
I'd agree with that. Like even Ahmad, I feel lacks the penetration that Garnacho gives you. Like Ahmad's a good player and he brings different things to the table, but Garnacho is like he's like a little puppy trying to get a bone or something. He'll go through under the door, over the door, jump out the window or something. He he's so positive and direct in what he does, and it's a real contrast to someone like Mainu who can show lovely turns and can like pop the ball off nicely to someone, but he lacks that entry into the penalty box. And I felt that tonight the only entries into the
So
penalty box were Garnacho and Delo.
you think Ahmad lacks penetration into the penalty box?
Yeah,
I think
I don't
today
think he gets
he had
ahead of the ball.
okay.
And like Ahmad, he cuts inside. Like, and when he gets into the box, I've always given this as a criticism of him, and something I need to improve is that he'll take his man on and he'll get to the byline, but he'll always like overplay it at the byline and not pull it back correctly enough. And what you're seeing from Garnacho in the last 3 or 4 games is he's delivering the ball at the right moment to good areas. I know he had that silly sort of near post shot, but he's putting in a hell of a lot of dangerous balls, and Ahmad isn't putting in dangerous balls.
Okay. Okay.
Is that, have I got that wrong?
No, no, no. I don't see Ahmad. I understand the dangerous the part with Garnacho. Definitely, I think he's got his head down, and he's maybe starting to understand more what Amarin is looking for. Because he was hitting the balls into the areas. The players just weren't arriving in the area that the ball was, and the
Yeah.
cutbacks weren't terrible. They were all in, in. It was all in zone. It was all in that area.
I'm telling you, I'm not trying to wind you up, but if McTominay was in the team, he would be in a lot of those areas that Garnacho is pulling them back to. It feels like we lack someone with that kind of hunger for goals or the natural understanding of where to go.
Or the late running.
Yeah, but you can't do late running in a two. Like, to be honest, I feel that that's where Ahmad should be running into when Garnacho has the ball, or maybe whoever the right or left wing back is, because saw a lot tonight. Delo getting in the box. We saw him score the other week from getting into the box. I feel that when the cross is coming from him or from Garnacho, the chiral right back, the opposite right back, should be getting in there.
It's a lot of running half time.
Football is a physical game, Mr. B.
No, I understand that, but there's only a certain amount of ground you can cover.
This
I
is
mean,
the
I get it
system.
going slightly narrower, but he's not for changing. He's gonna have to he's gonna have to adapt, and I think this is maybe the difficult part that he's gonna have because he just does not have the players. He just
I
does not have
don't.
the players to play. How he would. Well, okay, you have a central midfielder. I would be
Well, none of our central midfielders can play that position adequately, in my view.
right. So that's two out of the way already. So you
I was
already
talking
take
about the
the
wing
two.
backs, to be honest.
Okay, sorry. Apologies.
I mean, there's no doubt the squad is terrible. Like we've poorly recruited for ages. We've got a bunch of players that don't fit a system. We've got a manager in. It's a shit show, and it's poor from the board. To be honest, like I know everyone complains about, like Amrin's made a lot of silly mistakes in my view. But he's a very young manager, so it's kind of like criticising Yoro for having a bad game or something. You've got to expect that a manager who's only just turned 40 isn't going to be at the top of his game. But I don't think he should have ever been hired because of the way the squad's been recruited and the lack of funds. And I think that you look at the centre of midfield. Ugarte and Bruno. Bruno is a great player and I like him a lot. He's frustrating, but I like him. But he's not good enough to play in a two.
No, he's not. He is so not. He is
Like,
so
same
not.
with Ugarte and Minor. They're not good enough to play in a two.
So there's no. So at the moment, then that two in midfield is there nobody that you feel that could maybe do the job? Agate is obviously going to be first choice, so they're going to have to find somebody to complement Agate. And will it be Collier? Is he going to be given the chance? Is he good enough to do
I
the
don't
job
know if he's good enough.
again?
Collier got pulled after 45 minutes against, like, the co-op of who were we playing? Romania. Like, he got pulled against some Romanian plumbers. His touch was poor, and we haven't seen him since then.
Mm.
Collier might not be ready. He's definitely got the physical side of it, but when you're only playing two in midfield, like they need to complement each other, and you've got to have like the ability in wide areas. So The best two in midfield, once again, this is not a wind up, was McFred. With Fred and McTominay, they complemented each other. They had energy and fitness and could get around, but they also had players that were positioned higher up the pitch. So when they gave a sideways pass, the pass was like either to the fullback pushing us up the pitch, or they were spreading it out to Rashford or Sancho or whomever. So it was a more sort of natural fit. The problem that you have with the two in the midfield and the wing backs is that they've got to be able to compete physically, look after the ball, play through the block, and have a bit of patience and cuteness to get the
It's a
fullbacks
lot.
up the pitch.
It's a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, because
It's a lot.
you're going from 3 to 2, so they need to cover all of the bases, and it's. I mean, I'm trying to think like Belabour at Brighton and maybe Onana at Aston Villa.
I look. I
Yeah.
know. Yeah. See. I mean, the thing is, he's not playing for Aston Villa. They're not playing him as regular
Well,
as.
let's get him and Emi Martinez for Rashford.
Oh, if only. If only. Uh, yeah. These. Yeah. The Rashford deal is going to be an interesting one in the summer, but we'll. That's how.
Well,
That's
what
how.
Rashford should be worried about is that there's rumours that Vinny Jr. might be on the market in the summer, and he will be the top choice in Rashford's position for every big club.
Nobody can afford him apart from Saudi.
Like
They've
Vinny
been sniffing.
Jr.
Yeah, they've been sniffing around him for 2 seasons, isn't it?
Well, the Saudis.
Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But look, obviously the goal. Um,
Uh, yes.
Xerxes finish. No, sorry. You know what? Talk about their goal. I don't remember the Leicester goal.
Right. So it got Ugarte was pissing about on the left
Oh,
hand
he was
side.
robbed.
Ayew
Yeah,
robbed him.
yeah,
My man Jordan Ayew robbed him. And then Ndidi was unmarked, took a shot, it hit Anana's foot, and it popped up and it hit the Cova Reed.
yeah.
Shout
It
out to
hit him.
Canny.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Agate was definitely the problem there. I don't understand why you turned that way with the ball. But yeah,
It's not just him though.
no, it's not. And this is the problem. There's so much. Every time we concede, we can always probably dissect it. This person should have been here, should have been there. But the lead up to it was obviously his error.
Yeah,
Maybe
but
they
you've
should
got to
have done
cover
that
your
in the first
teammates,
place.
Mr. B.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what I don't think the team is being set up to do. But if you do that, I think you probably play a bit too defensive as well.
I don't know, but right, so you have first, second, third order thinking. This is like a sort of theory of logic. And first order thinking is like the most obvious thing, which is that Ugarte has made the error and that maybe Anana could, I don't think you can blame Anana for
Yeah,
it,
I
to be
don't think so.
honest.
Yeah, it was a reaction save the first one. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but I mean, what you could say is I can't remember who's to the right of him. Yoro's on the left. On the right Delo's on the left. Someone's on the right of him. They they could be stronger with Reed there before the shot comes in. Like a big thing you want your centre back to do is to take all movement from the striker by just kind of pinning them there.
mm,
So maybe you could say that that was a mistake. But the real issue is that, and it's something we have under Ten Hag, is that when one player makes a mistake, your entire team can't be open. You need to have a structure in place, and the players out on the left need to be far more compact in that situation. They need to be basically in a block to stop Ndidi having that shot there. And also, you wonder about Kobe Mainu. You wonder about Ahmad. Like, should they be the ones that are running into that space to cover?
yeah. But then that's two of the younger players. It, you have
It's a
to speak.
basic of football.
Yeah, it is. But if it's not in your in your makeup, maybe
Yeah.
that's then it's hard. If you're a defensive player, you see things maybe slightly before
Final
you're thinking.
destination.
You're, yeah, there you go. The final destination. You already set yourself up for it. So
Yeah.
I think
I,
it's
don't- I
hard.
mean, I remember, Mr. B, when I was in Chile, we had to do all this stuff about counter pressing. And that is so when you train for it, you train for it in possession. And the idea is so that like when you're getting coached, you'll tell your players get as far away from the man on the ball as possible, but be as close as you need, as far as you can. Is a very common coaching thing. So he's got the option to pass it to you, but you're also kind of you're opening the pitch up. With things like counter pressing, you have to kind of go against that and be quite close to your man in case you lose the ball. And I think that tonight, when we looked at how poor the press was and how awful we were at winning second balls, and this has been the key thing, like losing second balls all over the pitch, like for game after game, it's because our players aren't close enough to the opposition.
So you
And I
think they're
think
more
this is another
concentrating on
example.
their positioning rather than holding the opposition positioning.
Yes, like you have to get, even in possession, you've still got to be actually nearer your man than you think in case you lose the ball, so
Mm.
that you're in a position to counter press. And obviously, so if you think back, do you remember FA Cup final?
Man City.
Yeah. Do you
Yeah.
remember like Aaron Wan-Bissaka had to go out and deal with Doku by himself all the time? Like that was because the team was set up where they were always close to their man, in and out of the ball. Doku was out wide, and when he got it, Aaron Wan-Bissaka had to cover that space and deal with him. You don't see that from United anymore, even with three centre backs, because the players are too concerned, I think, with trying
Positioning.
to find a bit of space and then
Mm.
staying there to open the pitch. And I just don't think that they're finding solutions during the game.
Yeah, I think they leave it. I think you're right there, Bathtub, but maybe because nobody's used to playing the formation, there's nobody that they can maybe look to other than Amarim because maybe in the 4-2-3-1 that they would look to Bruno
Yeah.
to maybe do something or they know if at the moment I still think everything's such a mess.
I know, but like Mr. B, I'm a very slow learner. Like I have to work really hard to learn stuff, and it took me 2 months to kind of learn possession football, and I worked really hard to do it. And I'm not saying it was anywhere near the level of a Premier League player or anything like that, but I thought at the beginning of the second half, the team was completely panicked, everyone. And I was looking at Maguire saying, where is that leadership? And I was looking at Bruno thinking, where is that leadership to
Mm.
calm people like Yoro down? Who, like, Yoro was terrified at the beginning of the second half. And I just think that it's such an easy thing to say, but there is a huge lack of character in this team. And people might think that players like Martinez and Ugarte have character. And then you see them doing the most embarrassing tackles, like
2 foot.
like little bunny
Mm.
hops. And
Mm.
I played in South America for 3 years. I saw that tackle once. I don't know where that has come from, but it's disgraceful and it's embarrassing for Manchester United players to be doing that.
Can't disagree. Bathtub. I can't disagree because the thing is, if the referee picks it up, they're off. There wouldn't really be much of an argument for something that you could have gone in
I
with.
think I think you're getting 5 game bans if any of those connect.
It's not yeah, it's not the best situation. Xerxes goal. Obviously he's came on. As you said, he seemed to change the game. His level of performance stepped up. Maybe didn't quite change the game. It's not maybe that might be
I
too
think he
strong.
did. I
You think?
think like just off the basis that it was lovely to hear like the Joshua Xerxes song like
Yeah.
ringing around.
Okay, good.
I
Good.
think I think that him and okay, it made no bones about it. It was Garnacho that changed the game,
Mm.
but Xerxes getting stuck in a couple of nutmegs, like I felt it changed the atmosphere, and I was also delighted that he didn't do his finger gun celebration. Like, because that would be a huge relief to him to score a goal.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but it was an equaliser, and he acted like it was an
Like it was an
equaliser.
equaliser.
And I was very, very pleased with that. That he understands. He's not like was it Dan James that scored an equaliser
Yeah.
and Hannibal, and like they kind of celebrated it. Like Xerxes, he just waved and got on with it, and it was a lucky goal. It reminded me of some of the goals Hoyland has scored this season, where he just happens to be in the right place after a deflection.
Well, we'll
It would
take
have been
that.
a penalty if he hadn't have scored.
You think it would have, on who?
The guy blocked
I
it with his
remember
hand.
Hoyland's back heel.
No, he blocked it. The cross deflected off a handball.
Yeah, but there was no VAR half time.
That's true, and I am very happy that there was no VAR. But yeah, I mean, I think that like Xerxes had a tough time at the club, and I think in the same way that sort of Fellaini had a mini redemption, and Maguire has had a redemption, where you see players playing with a bit of courage and a bit of effort. I'm hoping that tonight has kind of turned around a lot of people on Xerxes because, and he's not good enough, but if he tries, then we can work with that.
Yeah, that, I understand that. I understand that. Obviously, you did talk about no VAR. Maguire, we won it right at the end. I have no idea how the linesman or assistant ref didn't give it, but I've been saying for ages, VAR's got them lazy. They don't have to make decisions anymore. They don't have to think about the decisions because they know them lot upstairs will do the job. I think it was a pathetic decision.
He wanted to go home. He wanted to Love Island All Stars for the linesman.
It makes no sense to me. It makes no sense. Offsides are, it's what you do. That's what you're there for. That's what you're there to help. Even on a Saturday.
I've got to be honest, Mr. B. Right, on Saturday games or Sunday games, like if you've actually got a proper lino on and it's not a guy from the other team running the line, you can kind of forgive them for a lot of things. But for a set piece where he can see them before the ball is played, well played, linesman. Well played, Lino. That is. If anyone plays Sunday League, I'll give you a good tip that I found has worked all over the years. Give the ref abuse. Always praise the linesman. Always praise them. Like I say, good job, Lino. That's the right call. God, I wish we had a Lino like this every week. And they'll give you one. They're just that kind of person. That's my top tip for your Sunday League team, Mr. B. Love bomb the linesman.
I might get them to start sucking up to the linesman and see.
Honestly, I learned that from a very good centre back.
The goal, obviously, we lost our minds a bit. I just.
It's why you love football.
Say again.
It's why you love football.
Yeah, it wasn't what I was expecting. I was setting myself up. I was preparing myself for the extra half an hour. I'm not going to say I was disappointed. I had prepared myself for the extra half an hour is what I should say, really. So for him to win it, fine, fair play to Maguire, but the performance, I think, is giving us a lot more questions.
Well, I think it's given us some answers.
Go on.
Kobbie Mainoo, he had a great game against the Romanians, but they weren't at the physical level of a Premier League team. And in my opinion, Liverpool are so far head and shoulders above everyone else because they have a bit of quality, but mainly they're a physical team, and no one can outmuscle them. Kobbie, I don't think he can play as a number 10. I think Garnacho can. So I wonder where we go from there.
I still 2 games ago we were saying Kobbie can play as a number 10. I'm not gonna.
That was after the Romanians.
Yeah, that's true. But we have been calling for him to play higher up the pitch.
We have been, but he was poor tonight, Kobbie. I really like Kobbie Mainoo, but he's definitely at this stage in his career, he's definitely a box to box midfielder in a three. Like he runs and attacks channels really well. He can pop it off a little bit. He's got an eye for goal, but he's not really linking up particularly well with Ahmad. Like Ahmad seems to be quite a hard player to play with. I was thinking this evening because Dorgu was getting ahead of him a lot, and you were thinking,
He
right,
didn't play
slipping
the pass.
through.
He didn't play the
Yeah,
pass. Yeah,
he's
yeah.
just. I think he's just a bit slow, Ahmad,
Well,
on his
maybe
execution.
he's not used to that player going past him. Who would it have been there? Mazraoui, which Mazraoui,
Masraoui or Delo.
yeah, when they would have stayed behind him. Dorgu was ready to go. So maybe moving forward, that's something that Ahmad's going to be told to do because once he pops it off, Ahmad's gone.
Yeah,
He could even receive the pass, but yeah, there was a lot of times when he didn't play it. But my opinion on that specific instances in the game is that Dorgu's an attacking player, and when Mazraoui plays it, it's Ahmad who has to do, maybe do the creating or make the space. With Dorgu going there and him understanding that he can pop it off to him, it's going to give Ahmad more freedom and maybe throw the opposition off a little bit more as well when Dorgu use him and see what he does with it. So maybe that's something
yeah,
moving forward that they can have a look at.
I get that. I just think that a proper player doesn't matter. They'll see. They'll see where the most dangerous space is and things. And I think that Ahmad is quite slow in his execution in the final third, like getting a cross in, getting a shot in, getting the cut back in. And it's probably because even though he's a lot older than people think, like he's going to be 24, I think, this year, he hasn't played a lot of top flight football. Like this is kind of his first season of being a regular at the top end, and maybe it is about experience and stuff. But you see that Garnacho, it looks like he's a different player since last December. Do you know what I mean? Like he's not taking. He's still taking a lot of silly shots, but he's looking for the cross. He's getting into spaces for the cross and so on. It looks like
I
that
think
he's.
that's only recently though, bath time. I think that's
Yeah,
only.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
that's what I mean. And with Ahmad, I haven't seen a huge change in his play
Yeah, but
since.
maybe he didn't have to change his game. You see, like it, it what Ahmad's been doing this season for us. Ahmad hasn't really had to change his game. We already said that Garnacho needs to change his game to
Yeah,
get into the team. So the fact that Garnacho's now changed, maybe if he gives Ahmad, the instruction or whatever, he wants him to do this more, it's noticeable that Garnacho has been listening to instruction when he's come on the pitch. It's obvious, so
yeah.
until,
Maybe drop Ahmad for a bit then.
why? Why would you be dropping Ahmad? I don't
Give him the
understand.
incentive to get better.
Yeah, but you don't drop your better players. I mean, I don't think he's warrant. I don't think his performance would warrant him being dropped. To be fair,
No, but he hasn't put in a good performance for a bit. Like Southampton was the last time that he. I mean, and to be fair, that was a hat trick, but that was the last time that he really turned up, and it might just be worth taking him out for a game or two. Like Amron has done that with the
Mm.
European games. I just think that Dorgu's going to be interesting because my fear for him, right, is that he might become a bit of a Delo on the basis that
You can play
he's
everywhere.
better than other people in lots of different
I
positions.
see, and I'm really not. That would piss me off.
Yeah,
That would really, really be because then we've got utility players play. No, that would do my head in. I was
yeah,
already
I'm
frustrated
worried about
on the
that.
left. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is, we're just gonna have to sit down and wait and see and hope that Amarin gets it right or gets
Yeah,
it better than we're doing. I mean, it was the first half was so poor. The second half was more exciting. Um, but anything would have been more exciting than the first half.
but he did
Uh,
make changes. To be fair to him, Amarin, like he does try and change things up. It's like we paused the eye test because A, no one likes it. B, it's very hard to do, and C, like we don't really understand this formation. And maybe I'll bring it back in a couple of games when Dorgu is playing. But I just seeing him out on the left. So I see him out on the right and just cutting into traffic all the time. It wasn't what I was expecting. I thought he was going to get the ball out on the left and sort of be like an old-fashioned winger, run that touchline, and then we were going to see some good like rondo throw-ins and things.
I mean, do you think because he's left-footed and obviously Amarin likes that left-footed player cutting in and he didn't play Ahmed there, do you think maybe that's where he was going with that sort of thought there?
Absolutely. It's absolutely, because there is. I know people hate inverted wingers, like Steph and lots of people talk about how they're crap. There's a reason you play inverted wingers, and it's about passing angles and shooting, and it gives you more options, and you can cross from deeper and things like that. But I would be a bit worried if Amarin doesn't recognise that the problem is getting up the pitch at the moment.
Yeah, it's definitely 100%.
And I feel having like inverted wing backs contributes to that problem, because we're playing inside to a two-man midfield that have three people on them and then legging it. We're basically trying to play like 1-2s and work a channel. And I would prefer to see Delo right and Dorgu left.
Yeah.
But I can't lie. I don't understand the system. I don't know wing backs play and things like that. But shout out, it's Andrew Williams on his official account tonight. He's blessed us with his main account.
Yeah.
What are they saying anyway? The comments.
It's kind of the same thing that we are bath time. Oh, let me just get a couple of them. I did get I did show a few, to be fair. A lot of them were highs. A lot of them were just kind of agreeing. Look, he's agreeing.
Yeah, this is about like sweet talking linesman though.
Oh well, look, it's still an agreement.
Yeah.
Hold on, let's have a look. Obviously, Rich jumped in. I put them up as in saying howdy. It wasn't, to be fair, it was just a kind of nodding of approval of kind of what we had been saying throughout, and obviously saying that Dalot's been crap, and Bruno's been crap.
I thought Dalot was really good in the second half. Like,
Yeah.
I know he's not a popular player, but a lot of the good stuff Garnacho did was based off the work that Dalot was doing.
I don't know, bath time. I don't know. Look, from when he's being disowned by Grace, there's problems. There's issues going on. So maybe his performance wasn't as happy.
Who was the worst player on the pitch
Today? Rasmus.
Yeah. Noticeably. Like, by far the worst.
Yeah, Rasmus. Yeah. Actually, do you know what? I actually think Bruno was worse than Rasmus.
Okay.
No, Bruno, then Rasmus. Shocking.
Kobe?
Yeah. He wasn't good. But I don't think he was worse than Bruno or Rasmus.
You think Bruno was the worst?
Yeah, I think Bruno was the worst. He's captain. There's a lot of things that you're captain. Sometimes you have to sacrifice your own. You have to sacrifice yourself as being a captain, and he doesn't. I don't think he sacrifices himself at all. Not a bit, not enough. I don't think he sacrifices himself at all. He's been moved into a position that he has to understand what you need to be doing in that position, and he has no fucking clue, bro. He has no clue at all, and he's captain. So yeah, my worst player would have been Bruno, then Rasmus, and then obviously Mainu. Yeah, I was surprised Rasmus stayed on. I'm glad he stayed on.
He played a big part in that goal.
Yeah, he played a big part in the goal, so I'm glad he stayed on. moving forward, I have no idea if he feels that Xerxes can play with him or they can play together. I don't know moving forward if that's something that he thinks can happen. But something needs to change because we've got 13, 12 games left to the end of the season. We've got another FA Cup round. Whoever we play, hopefully it'll be at home. And then obviously we've got Europa. Maybe we've got. I would like to think we've got 20 games left for the end of the season, and that probably brings us to the final of both competitions. But we don't get there if we don't improve half time, and I'm not sure. He'll get the time. I think he'll get the time.
Yeah, he'll get the time.
I'm just not sure the players are going to understand what he wants before the end of the season. It just seems he's been there a little while. We talk about training sessions and this and that. These players don't just turn up and run around a pitch. There has to be some sort of tactical,
Yeah, but we've just come out of Christmas. Like, we've come out of a really, really busy part of the season with, 3 games a week kind of stuff. And now we're going into a more calm stage where there's, we've got a week till our next game, and that is gold dust on the training pitch. That week of training will be more than.
Of course, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you know what it was. Champions League is this week, isn't it? The playoffs is in the middle. My brain switched on to that. We had European football this week.
Yeah, we got to do Real Madrid, Man City reaction. I think.
Oh yeah,
that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, that's gonna be a nice game. I hope Man City get knocked out.
Not a huge fan of Real Madrid myself, but I do agree with you.
But yeah, I want Man City to get knocked out. I want Real Madrid to still be in there because I think they're going to be the only team that can maybe handle Liverpool.
Yeah, I think you're really correct about that. We have to watch out for Liverpool this year. They just had it so easy.
Yeah, right. You know what? As I said, look, we finished talking about our game. So we will drift on.
You want to slate the Scousers?
Easy. Yeah, I don't think they've been pushed by anybody this season. I don't want to sound bitter. I don't want to sound, so normal. But when Man City were winning it, you felt like Man City deserved to be winning the league. It's like Liverpool have just turned up and everybody else is just
rolled down for them.
Yeah.
Same as when they won it during COVID. Like, they didn't win a title race. They just, there was no one pressuring them.
Yeah, consistent.
And it's same again. And, like, you can't, like, we all hate Liverpool, but you can't deny that they've been the best team, like, in England this year. But it's like, I hate the fact that we have to ask favours off Arsenal. But the cold reality, Mr. B, is that Liverpool become the most successful club in English history if they win it this season.
I know. And I don't think it's only going to be one trophy that they're going to win, and that's going to piss me off even more.
Well, they're going to equalise us on leagues, and like they have a European heritage that we can only dream of.
I know.
Like it's just the case, and you look at Arteta, and I'm very annoyed with him. I'm annoyed with Pep. But most of all, I'm annoyed with ourselves because we've let the club be mismanaged, and it's like we pretend that it's out of our hands and things like that. But we should, with the money we spent and the talent that's been through the club, we should be at the top. Yeah, it is a complete joke, and we've got players leaking lineups like not.
To be fair,
they leaked it last night.
What, today's lineup?
Yeah.
Was it leaked?
Yeah.
Shut up, bath time.
No, it was leaked.
By who now? Look at us again.
Know. I don't know who leaked it. I mean, it could be Rashford.
No, sorry. So you knew this team from yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I thought the leaks had stopped.
No, there was a leaked lineup last night, and it was correct. And it could be, the physio telling someone or something like that, or it could be you know, one of Rashford's old mates telling Rashford, and he's told someone. It could be anything, but it's just this is one of my issues with Bruno as captain. Like, it's not just on the pitch stuff. It's they should be beating the shit out of whoever is leaking stuff.
Yeah.
Should be absolutely murdering them.
Do you think they know? Do you think they know who it is?
No, but I think that they should. I think that like a real captain would get everyone in the room and
Find out who the fuck it was.
well, not even that. Would just explain that if the team lineup gets leaked, everyone has to pay £1,000 or 10 grand or whatever it is, and then like sort of collectively bully people that way. Like, and include the physios in that. Include all the stuff.
No, I hear that. I hear that. It might be one that was. Yeah, they just seem to have stopped. I thought they had stopped. I was surprised. I was surprised.
But it's like, but the thing is, though, you also have to remember is that people have worked at the club for a very long time, are watching people lose their job all around them as ticket prices increase, stewards get cut. Like, we're in a real low point at the moment, and I'm so pleased that Harry has scored an offside goal in the 92nd minute to give us all a good boost for the next week.
Yeah, we've got a week. Look, we've got a week. We can watch everybody else now in peace. We know we're through to the next round, which is the most important. It gives us the weekend off. So we'll probably be back. When are we go? So we'll probably be back on Monday then, right?
What, for shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can do something tomorrow or after football on Sunday.
Sunday will be good. Yeah, we come back Sunday then. I have no problem coming back. I definitely can't do tomorrow, but Sunday is no problem. I like a chat. So yeah, that's cool.
And we should. I mean, I sent Canny a message like earlier today. So we've been poor like this week in terms of doing shows and things because we're all a bit depressed with the club, to be honest. And,
yeah.
And we hate transfers. I know all of you lot are addicted to transfers, but they're just not very interesting to me, to be honest. Like, everyone thinks it will solve all our problems.
All right, we'll find a transfer. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for a transfer guru before the summer. Every week we'll ask to see if anybody wants to do the transfers on the transfer show. Because as I said, like Andrew, I'm done. I'm not doing anymore. I think they killed me. This is the one that broke me. This one broke me by half time. Yeah. We'll fight. We'll get somebody to.
Have you seen apparently Tell has announced he still wants to play for Manchester United? And you're like, imagine if that's true.
You're an idiot then. So why the hell did you end up? If you wanted to, you should have pushed. You should have pushed Bayern to accept the offer that we were going to give you, and come. But you didn't. So go Tottenham, go and rock there because he's not going to do, and he's never going to play. He's never going to play for Man United. He won't play for us. His opportunity was this. It's done now. It's gone.
Yeah, but imagine being in the dressing room and hearing that the guy that you got in on loan with an option to buy still hopes to go to United.
Lovely. Like, he put the option to buy in. He made sure that he's got the final say. He's never ever going to start Tottenham. He's never ever going to start Tottenham. They weren't in. That wasn't an option. I just think that Bayern said, like anything else, you want to go fine. They're going to get 10 million for 4 months' work. And then you can come back.
You never know about Daniel Levy, though. He might get some girl on his payroll to entrap, like to entrap Tell or something. He's a devious bastard.
Oh no!
Fergie had that mindset. To be perfectly honest,
whatever works, whatever helps your end game. You know what I mean? You're funny, Time, man. You're funny. I'm tired. I am tired now.
Yeah, man. I want to play my new computer game as well.
Yeah. Wow. What did you get?
I got Kingdom Come Deliverance 2.
Who?
It's a role-playing game where I pretend to be a fat, illiterate peasant in the Czech Republic. And it's the sequel to the game that got me through COVID.
Oh, yeah. I hear Croatia.
It's a very special game to me.
It sounds like you're having a dig at somebody.
I'm not having a dig at anyone. That's who Henry Escalets is. Jesus Christ be praised.
I sometimes don't know if I can take you serious. You look, anyway, look, bath time. Bless up, though. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, no worries.
Thanks for jumping on. And guys, that we will be back, as bath time said, we will be back on Sunday for a chit chat about whatever we want to chit chat about, to be fair, but it definitely won't be for transfers. So
It'll be Kingdom Come 2.
Yeah, there you go. Kingdom Come 2, and we'll be talking about Kingdom Come 3. And
Project 21.
With that, guys, look, it's like a notch from me.
Like a notch from me, like and subscribe.